The home inspector found documents. This house has been sold 4 times in 2 years. You're the 5th owner who doesn't know. The home inspector found documents and said, this house has been sold 4 times in 2 years. You're the 5th owner who doesn't know. I froze in the doorway of what was supposed to be my dream house. Mr. Beefy, the inspector I'd hired, was standing in the basement holding a stack of papers he'd found behind a loose panel. What do you mean I'm the 5th owner? I asked. I just put down my entire life savings as a deposit. The closing was scheduled for next week. Mr. Beefy spread the documents across a dusty workbench. According to these deed transfers, this property has changed hands in January 2023, May 2023, September 2023, March 2024, and now you're buying it in October 2024. None of the sales lasted more than 6 months. My stomach dropped. The realtor had told me the previous owner was an elderly couple relocating to Florida. Why would people keep selling so fast? Mr. Beefy pointed his flashlight at the foundation walls. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Usually when you see this pattern, there's either a major structural issue or something happened here that nobody wants to talk about. He handed me one of the documents, a handwritten note tucked between the deed transfers. It read, left after 3 months. Couldn't stay. Check the crawl space. My hands started shaking. Mr. Beefy had already moved toward a small access door I hadn't noticed before. The crawl space was barely 3 feet high. The smell hit me first. Something chemical and wrong. Then Mr. Beefy stopped suddenly. You need to see this. He was shining his light on the dirt floor where dozens of small bones were partially buried. I'm calling the police. 20 minutes later, 2 police officers arrived and went down to investigate. They came back up with evidence bags and serious expressions. You might want to reconsider that purchase, one of them said. They told us they'd need to bring in a forensic team. The house was now a potential crime scene. I called my realtor immediately, demanding to know why she hadn't disclosed the property's history. She claimed she had no idea about the multiple sales. Mr. Beefy pulled up the county property records on his laptop. Each sale had been conducted through a different LLC with minimal paperwork. Someone's been flipping this house quickly and covering their tracks, he said. The forensic team determined the bones were from various animals, but they'd been arranged in deliberate patterns, circles and symbols that suggested something ritualistic. They'd found similar arrangements in the walls and under the floorboards. I contacted the previous 4 owners through public records. 3 responded, and their stories were terrifyingly similar. The first owner, a young couple, lasted 2 months before strange sounds in the walls drove them out. They'd found dead animals in their yard weekly and symbols painted in the attic. The second owner made it 3 months. He'd experienced sleep paralysis every night and vivid nightmares. When he'd investigated the basement, he'd found the same crawlspace arrangement. He'd sold immediately and moved to another state. The third owner had hired a priest after 6 weeks. She'd found books hidden in the walls about occult practices. The priest had refused to enter after seeing the basement. The fourth owner wouldn't talk to me at all, just sent a one-line email. Get out while you can. My attorney dug deeper into the property's history. The house had been built in 1987 by a man named Lawrence Grimm, who'd been arrested in 1995 for running an illegal animal fighting operation and suspected involvement in a local cult. He died in prison in 2000. My attorney discovered that Lawrence's son, Beefy Grimm, had been recently released from prison for animal cruelty charges and had been spotted in the area. The police connected the dots quickly. Beefy Grimm had been breaking into the house between sales, continuing his father's rituals in the crawlspace, terrorizing each new owner until they fled. He'd been using keys he'd kept from when his father owned it. The locks had never been changed. He'd been arrested at a hotel 2 miles away with animal remains in his truck. He confessed to entering the house multiple times, trying to reclaim what he considered his family's spiritual territory. He was charged with criminal trespass, animal cruelty, and stalking. The property was condemned. My deposit was returned in full, and the sale was canceled. Mr. Beefy's thorough investigation had saved me from becoming the 5th person to flee this nightmare house. Investigators eventually found remains from over 200 animals throughout the structure. Beefy Grimm received a 10-year sentence. The house was demolished, and the lot sold to a developer who built a small park there instead. I found a different house and had Mr. Beefy inspect it 3 times before making an offer. Some houses have dark histories that no amount of fresh paint can cover.